Okay, today I'm going to walk you through Corinth. My name is Abby Dunford, and I'm taking the educational technology class at Concordia. And one of our assignments is to walk the professor through an educational technology app that we found out about. And I was able to learn about Corinth via a classroom discussion on Blackboard. Someone had mentioned, and I'd never heard of it before. And I went to the reviews, and it said it was okay for all ages. And I am going to be teaching a kindergarten, first grade, maybe second grade cross-categorical resource room with autistic students and other students with disabilities that impact their ability to be in a general education classroom all day long. They need extra behavioral support, social emotional support. They need sensory integration. And so I would be able to use this, but I had to be creative a little bit because it said there was a search feature. If you go up to this search feature, you can search. So, for example, I was looking for kindergarten, and nothing came up. And then, of course, I did first grade, and some things came up, but they weren't applicable to first grade. It was like Newton's first law and physics, which we could still do with them, but that's not what I was looking for. So that was one con of the application that I wasn't thrilled about. I wasn't easily accessible for me to find the content that was age appropriate for my kiddos. However, the reason I wanted to look into it was because my students especially are more apt to be visual learners. They see their world in pictures, right? We hear that a lot. So I thought this would be really neat to see for them. So I had to be creative. So if I went up to the drop-down menu, when I was signed in for my 14-day premium trial, you can see that there are tons of 3D models. And this is what Corinth is all about. So they use 3D models to enhance learning. They provide information. They provide lesson plans, visuals in all of these subject areas: life sciences, physical sciences, earth and space sciences, math, culture, art, history. They even have virtual reality experiences that are really neat. And they have all these categories. So for me, I was thinking, how am I incorporating science into my curriculum with my students? And so I was thinking of the unit where we have the caterpillar, so where we can read the Hungry, Hungry Caterpillar, and then we have the unit where we can get the butterflies by purchasing the caterpillars, setting up a habitat, feeding them, and then gradually waiting for them to go through the cycle and become a butterfly and release them. So I thought this would be really neat to incorporate into the lessons. So you can see in the top right, there's a star, and if I click it, it'll take me to my library, where I can access lesson plans I was looking at. I was looking at the life cycle of living things. I was looking through the different 3D models. There was the frog life cycle. There was a common spadefoot toad, a tortoise, and then the caterpillar I saved so that I could access in my favorite 3D models easily. I saved the caterpillar, the monarch butterfly, because then I wanted to be able to show the kiddos at the end of the unit the butterfly and the different parts and And then there's this beautiful butterfly gallery of lots of different types of butterflies. So for this presentation, I'm going to go to the caterpillar. I'm going to open it. And you can see there's this 3D model. I can make it bigger, smaller. I can turn them around. Turn, little caterpillar. Oof. All right. And so you can see it'll highlight the different parts of the anatomy for you. Spiracles. Never heard of a spiracle before, but now I know what they are. I'm going to go back to the entire model so that it can still be colorful. If I go to these icons down here, one that I think I'm going to go to first is the language. And this is something I really liked about Corinth. You can click on the language, and you can put that the main language right now, of course, is English. They have a Spanish option. So if I picked Espanol, we would see the anatomy and the vocabulary in Spanish. I'm not sure what the bilingual option is. I'll have to look into that. Maybe it just wants me to show that I'm English and Spanish speaking. So here, that is really neat. So I wouldn't use that with my kids, but hey, I am just going to keep it that way because I like it. So I'll turn off the languages. So for the introduction, they give all this beautiful, actually, here, let me change it back because it's a presentation and I'm not sure my audience are speaking Spanish. So I'm going to click it back to English, but it is a feature. And I think it's really, really important because our kiddos in our classrooms are from many different cultures. They're from many different areas of the world. This application can be used worldwide. And so that's really neat. But then also, if we wanted to share this with parents, we would be able to have them read it in their native language. Let's say, I'm not sure it's an option. I don't see Arabic. But let's say one of the parents was Spanish and they didn't have great English language. They could go ahead and do this. They could read about it in Spanish at home, and they could have the English words with them and have that bilingual option on. So anyway, I love that. I counted 24 languages. So there are lots of options. If we wanted to share it with the family, there's the share icon. You can copy a link to put in an email, or you can generate student access. My kiddos are kindergarten through first grade, so they're not going to be having their own device with a QR code. But I do think that it's really neat that technology today can do this, that can create QR codes to bring us to exactly what we want. And it gives the access code. So that's really neat. And then you can take pictures of the model. So if I push capture, you can take a screenshot. And then you could also take a transparent screenshot, which is really neat because then you could, I don't know, hang the caterpillar on your Google Classroom image or something, and put the caterpillar in the classroom. I don't know why you would want a transparent screenshot, but there you go. You have the option, and you can send it to Google Drive. I'm not set up with Google Drive right now, but I think that would be really great. There's also a sync with Office feature. So if I was creating a PowerPoint, which I usually do, and I wanted to have it embedded within it, I could have that as well. So then the augmented reality, this is where applying it to my classroom comes in. I was thinking, what can I do with this caterpillar? Yes, I can show them the anatomical parts. I can go to the related lessons that I'll show you in a minute. But I thought something that would be really fun was to go to the augmented reality. You could see the top right, it's detected as an option. So here I am in all my glory. I've got a peach. So if we were going to be reading The Hungry Caterpillar, we could have the students come up and hold the fruit. They could get in the picture. They could feed the caterpillar. And we can take a screenshot here to the right. So I'm taking a screenshot of myself. We could do this with all the kids. They could pick whatever fruit they wanted. So we could learn about which fruit. We could learn about which fruit we would want to do. I guess you could even take a video recording with it. So I'm going to get out of that, go back to capture, and you can see that it's here for me. I don't want to remove it, so I want to save it. So I guess I can go to the download option for now. So that is a possibility. And then we could make a really neat collage of all the kids with all the different fruit feeding their caterpillar. And I would hope they would think that was really neat. Another feature is the related content.